Looking for the perfect gift for someone you love? Perhaps you're in search of something unique to treat yourself. Discover the beauty of uniquely created hand-stamped jewelry. Locally owned and crafted with love, our collection features rings, bracelets, keychains, and pendants made from durable aluminum and paired with natural beads. Enjoy necklaces on sterling silver-plated chains and earrings with sterling silver hooks for a touch of elegance. Each piece is hand-stamped and one of a kind, making it uniquely yours. Plus, we offer custom orders, and we ship nationwide. Find us on Facebook and Instagram today and fall in love with your perfect piece, uniquely created just for you. Uniquely created hand-stamped jewelry in Crossville.
Economic impact. They're going to be getting gas at our gas stations. They're going to be staying at our hotels. They're going to be buying merchandise from folks. We're going to be buying merchandise. We use local as much as humanly possible.
Yes.
We don't do the online merchandise thing. We go to Promotions Plus.
Absolutely.
And anything else that can help us here in town, we'll go do that. So.
Welcome to What's Up Crossville, your go-to podcast for all the happenings in our quaint Tennessee town. Whether you've been here for generations or have just moved to enjoy our slower, friendlier pace of life, this is the place to connect with the heart and soul of Crossville. Here, we dive deep into the facts, share true stories, and get to know our neighbors a little bit better. Each episode aims to inform, inspire, and entertain, steering clear of the negative noise and controversies often found outside in the world today. This is Melissa Ellis, and I'm here to ask, what's up, Crossville?
What's up, Crossville? This is Melissa Ellis, and today I have Mark Baldwin, who is one of the main coordinators, and he is basically the face of Bigfoot, though he is not exactly Bigfoot. I guess he doesn't look like a Sasquatch.
I hope not.
No way. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the various hats that you wear in this community? Because I think everybody probably knows you.
Well, yeah, I think it's one of those situations where a lot of people know me, and then I know a few of them. So it's one of those deals.
You're popular.
But a lot of people know me as Meteorologist Mark, especially when we're about to get snow or they think we're about to get a tornado. That's when Meteorologist Mark really takes center stage. But I love it. I love people keeping safe and informed. And so that's one of my hats. Another, I guess, a lesser known hat would be County Commission.
I didn't know you were on the commission.
Yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about.
Well, there you go.
A lot of people don't know that I represent the 7th District of Cumberland County, which is the northwest corner of Cumberland County.
Close to Fentress?
Yes. Yeah, right there at the border. And so I'm also a Kids on the Rise mentor. I mentor a 13-year-old. I'm in that program. So, but the Bigfoot Festival is what takes center stage in October.
Right.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the big hat.
That's what everybody knows you as, Bigfoot Mark. No, I just gave you that nickname. So is this the 3rd or 4th year of the festival?
4th year.
4th. See, I thought it was the 3rd.
I can't believe it. We originally wanted to have it in 2020.
No, I wonder why you guys didn't do it.
We just decided, that we didn't want anyone to die. So,
What a concept.
Didn't want that on our shoulders. But anyway, we had it planned. We were beginning the planning process. And then late that spring into early summer, we were like, we just can't do this.
Yeah.
So we put it off till 2021.
Okay. Well,
so this could have been the 5th.
It could have been the 5th, but no, somebody had to ruin it.
Yeah.
Whether it was a bat or all the rumors, I'm like, I don't know who it was. So how did this begin? What inspired that?
So one weekend, I literally had nothing to do.
And, it started out one weekend.
And I hit up my friend Matilda, and I said, "Are you doing anything this weekend?" She said, "No, why?" And I said, there's something going on in Gatlinburg. Let's go check that out. And we got about halfway up there, and she's like, "What'd you say this was again?" And I was like, "You really need to ask more questions before you get in the car with me." And so we went up there to the Bigfoot convention. And I even had VIP tickets.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, you were special. You were a very important person.
Go hard or go home. So we get there, and it doesn't fail to impress. It was very entertaining, and then they showed a map of where we were all from. And because when you got your ticket, you had to use your zip code.
Okay.
And almost everyone was from Middle and West Tennessee.
Okay.
So I thought, they all drove through Crossville to get here. And so then the county commissioner part of my brain kicked in, and I was like, we could do something like this at home. And then the more I got to thinking about it, I thought, there's all these charity events that are kind of quirky and weird, and whatnot, but everybody goes to them because it is quirky and weird. Yep. And I thought, this is my quirky and weird. And so I went to Mayor Foster after thinking about it a lot and talking with my coworkers. I was working at WeatherTap at the time. And I'm on my way to his office. I'm thinking, am I really going to do this? Am I going to talk to him about this? And I'd only been a commissioner for, a couple of years?
They wanted to take away your commissioner card after that.
So, and I see Mayor Foster's face while I'm talking, and I can just see this look of, I had such hopes for him. And then I'm like, but here's the economic impact. They're going to be getting gas at our gas stations. They're going to be staying at our hotels. They're going to be buying merchandise from folks. We're going to be buying merchandise. We use local as much as humanly possible.
Yes.
We don't do the online merchandise thing. We go to Promotions Plus.
Absolutely.
And anything else that can help us here in town, we'll go to them. So Outlaw Graphics does all of our signage.
That's the way to do it.
We don't order that online. So and we keep it all right here local. And so then when he thought about that, he was like, let's do it. Let's see what happens. And so we got to planning, and I put together a rock star committee of people that I knew I could count on and I knew could help me pull this crazy thing off. And and when it all boils down to like the week before, we're all sitting there in one of our last meetings and we're like, do we know what we're doing? And one of my committee members, Melina, was like, we're about to find out. And I was like, okay. And then festival day comes, and I kept telling the committee, we're just planning a big party, and we're inviting all of our friends.
And we're celebrating Bigfoot.
Yeah. And so that's how it started out. And that first year, we benefited United Fund of Cumberland County. So we just got all the nonprofits. And they helped us out. They volunteered with certain activities. And then we wanted to shake it up a little bit from year to year. And so we've kind of changed it up from time to time and just benefited different groups at the festival.
So who are you benefiting this year?
So this year, we're benefiting Creative Compassion's Veterans Program, and where we do home repairs and remodels and whatnot that they can't afford. That are necessary for them to be safe and comfortable in their home. We'll do HVACs. We'll do the mini splits that are kind of like the HVAC, but not to that extent. And walk-in showers, just things like that they need that they maybe can't afford with their current budget. And then the other, so we're splitting it 50-50 this year. The other 50 is going to an organization, a new nonprofit called Serve Strong. Okay. And that was put together by Corbin Goad, whose son was killed in an automobile accident and was an off-duty officer. Okay. And so that's near and dear to his heart, is helping first responders with the needs that they may have. Because we take it for granted that they see what they see. Well, they're trained to deal with it, so they're okay.
No human is trained for that.
So they deal with a lot. Veterans, of course, deal with a lot. And so all this comes together to try to help both of those groups out.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and Melissa, what's really interesting is that that's the sole benefactors of the festival. We have all kinds of different groups that kind of branch off, like the Bigfoot Glow Run 5K. That's the Friday evening before, which is one of the funnest 5Ks you'll ever do. Whatever the 5K can you run from Bigfoot in the dark.
Oh, so you're running from Bigfoot. You don't run as Bigfoot.
You never know where he's going to be.
Is he really there on the trail?
He's somewhere. Maybe. We'll see. You never know.
Are you serious?
You never know.
See, I'm not a 5K person. Anybody who has seen me knows I'm not a 5K person.
Every once in a while, you'll hear someone scream, and you're like, oh, he shot himself.
Oh, gosh. And it's at night.
It's at night.
Holy moly.
And
you
everyone's
guys,
got little flashlights, and they got glow sticks. It's the glow run.
and where does that occur?
So it starts at the main entrance of the community complex, and then we take you down through Obie River Park.
Awesome.
So that benefits the Patient Support Fund at Cumberland Medical Center.
Okay.
So, and a lot of folks don't know they even exist, and that's for cancer patients who can't afford the Boost or the Ensure, the nutritional drinks that are so expensive.
Yes, they are.
Or if they can't afford their fuel to go to treatment.
Oh.
So this group will step in and help out with that. And they do other things too, especially for women who have had breast cancer surgeries and whatnot. They can help with whatever you need there to, like, for the reconstruction part, and whatnot.
Yes.
So they can help with that stuff too. So the VIP event the day of the festival, where you get to spend some time with Ronnie LeBlanc and he does a presentation, you can talk to him one-on-one. That benefits the Young Marines of Cumberland County. So, we have different groups. CCHS Band is going to play at the festival. We're going to give them, a donation. The Rescue Squad helps us with parking, so we give them a donation. So all these different groups benefit. It's not just the festival. So Bowling with Bigfoot benefits the Fairfield Glade Rotary the Saturday before, which they give money to scholarships and nonprofits.
Yes. And I know that we'll have this aired after the event, I believe, but you guys are even having a pageant. No, there's no pageant.
No, that's not associated with the
It's
Bigfoot
not.
Festival.
Okay, see, I read that and I was like, is this going to be a Miss Bigfoot or Miss Sasquatch? Which y'all can see his face. He's like, no. It's like, I miss Bigfoot. Like, who brags about that? So that was for the baseball team, though.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if that was in coordination with that. Okay,
no,
cool.
That's not associated with our stuff.
Awesome. Okay. And now I feel even better because any girl that wins that does not have to be Miss Sasquatch or Miss Bigfoot.
This is true.
I feel so much better about everything now. I really had no idea how much you guys, I honestly, and maybe I'm just clueless and I haven't been paying attention. I really thought Bigfoot Festival was, well, Mark Baldwin's having a good time. He likes Bigfoot and everybody gets to make some sort of money. But I really had no idea that you guys did it to give to another nonprofit and that you guys worked with other nonprofits and gave to, that everyone's really trying to benefit from this. That's really incredible.
Yeah, that's the way it's been from the start. So that's the way it'll always be. And that makes us unique from a lot of other Bigfoot festivals. And a lot of festivals in general are community events, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But every once in a while, a festival benefits something, like raises money for nonprofits or to sustain themselves or whatever. So festivals can be multi-purpose.
Yes, they can. Absolutely. Has the festival evolved much since the first year?
Yes. Especially as far as from the planning perspective. The first year we planned for everything. We tried our best to think of every possible scenario, from things going right to things going wrong. And so once we saw it play out, then we were like, okay, so we don't need to do this next year. We do need to do that. And so it keeps getting better.
Yeah, debriefings are amazing after festivals, aren't they? It's like, wow, we could have done that better.
Yeah. But I'll have to say that, and you talk to anyone who went to that first festival, you'd never know that was our first one. And I think what, a lot of festivals get put together, and when we talk to our agents that find our celebrity talent for us, they'll tell you a lot of folks have a really good idea, and then they just think it all comes together all by itself, and it doesn't. It's the first year we did this, I had that was my second full-time non-paying job.
Really?
Yeah. It was...
Oh, I get that.
Yeah, my evenings, nights, weekends. Because you don't know how many people are coming, and you want them to all have a good time, and you want everybody to stay safe.
Right.
So, yeah.
I get this.
It's an undertaking.
I'm sure it is. I do several festivals. I did 2 last month, and I do 1 in April, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get roped into others, but they're exhausting. And it really takes a strong team effort.
Yeah, you can't have a weak link.
No, not at all. Or
everybody
you will
has
find
to-
out about it really quick after the festival during debriefing.
Yes, and I keep the committee small.
Yes.
There's never more than 5 of us.
You don't want so many hands in the
because you
cookie
don't
jar.
want that many boys. You want a small group that you can depend on.
Right. Absolutely. And they can kind of like corral their
Yes.
their minions.
Yes.
There's a lot of work that goes into planning festivals. Any kind of major event, I think. It's just, it's a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
So, have you seen it grown in popularity around here? What were the numbers of attendance from?
So that first year, we probably had around 8,000-ish or so.
Wow, that's great. Real good for a first year.
And so it just keeps kind of ticking up. And so we just keep seeing, we see more people every year. So we'll wait and see how many people show up for the 4th year. Sometimes the weather's trivial. One year we had a driving mist and drizzle till about 9:30. And we think that spooked some folks away.
Yes,
but
it
then
does.
by 10 or 11, we started seeing more and more people. And then by noon, a lot of people were coming in. And and I was getting on Facebook saying, come to the festival. The weather's great.
Yeah.
Because it had cleared up. But we always compete with the UT Bama game. People say, why did you choose that Saturday? And, well, the community complex is a busy place.
Yes.
And I didn't realize how busy it was until I started trying to find a Saturday.
And honestly, October and September are your
Yes.
major festival months.
Yes.
They're massive.
And the 3rd Saturday in October happened to be free. And so that's what we jumped on because we wanted to keep it consistent.
Yes.
We don't want the
That
second one
helps.
year, the 4th. Yeah.
No.
So we keep it the 3rd Saturday. But that does interfere, I guess you could say, with the UT Bama game. But UT and Bama are usually both better teams at that point, so the game is later in the day.
Right.
So you can come and get your Bigfoot on, and then you can go get your Bama UT game on.
Get your Bama on or UT,
Yeah.
and then Bigfoot. Yeah.
So
yeah.
it can be a really good day for you.
So, do you have any favorite stories or highlights from past festivals?
Gosh,
It's a Bigfoot festival. Surely
Yeah.
there's some outlandish things that happen or said.
One thing I learned very early on is that some people are true blue believers.
Okay, I was going to ask about that.
So you have to be careful. They've had an experience that they can't explain, and there's nothing you can do to take it away from them.
I know this. My late aunt, and she and I loved horror stuff, all that stuff. But I guess several years ago, before she passed, before my mom passed, she tried explaining to everybody that she heard it. She was convinced it was Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting here trying not to laugh because it's not that I don't believe. I don't, but I also don't believe in ghosts, and people give me a really hard time about that. But I guess everyone was trying to keep a straight face and listen to her. And then they were like, well, how do you know it was Bigfoot? And her response was, well, it sounded like a sad elephant. I don't even know why that signified Bigfoot, but when she said that, I knew exactly like that. It was like, I know. So I was like, how do you know that was Bigfoot? But it really offended her when we were laughing. And I think we were laughing more at the sad elephant. So yeah.
Yeah, people have had an experience. And I talked to one gentleman who was with his girlfriend out in the mountains of Oregon, and they were way back in the backcountry, and he swears a male and female Bigfoot crossed the road in front of them. And he said the female just crossed the road, but the male stopped about in the middle of the road and just looked straight into their windshield, and he said they've never forgotten it. He said, you can't tell me that's not what that was.
Really?
So I was like, that's interesting. Now, when we went to the Bigfoot convention in Gatlinburg, I do remember this one guy. He was saying that back in the day when the land bridge between Alaska and Asia was you could cross on, they think some of the giant apes crossed that land bridge from China and then came over into the Pacific Northwest. Now, they went extinct shortly after that, but they think Bigfoot is the rare sightings of some of these giant apes from time to time. Yeah. It's even got a name.
Scientifically, I will buy that.
It's got a scientific name even, Gigantopithecus.
I will never remember that until I go back through and keep listening to this episode.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Now, to say that they made it to the eastern U.S., they think is a bit of a stretch, but
I wondered about that because I thought Bigfoot was more of an Oregon, Washington State kind of thing. I mean, I've seen Harry and the Hendersons. I don't even think
very popular in the Pacific Northwest,
Yes.
but there are plenty of sightings in the Smokies and all of the Appalachian Mountains.
Maybe they just kind of trekked their way. I mean, if it happened back when there was the land bridge, then surely they've had time to kind of make it over this way.
They're ready to walk.
They walk everywhere.
But there's a website where you can go report your sighting.
What?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of sightings up around Oneida.
No kidding.
And there's been some in Hebbidsburg.
I feel like I just need to go and look for these things now because I don't believe, and I think like that's the only way I will ever believe in something is if I see it myself.
Well, you know what it really sounds like, don't you? It's like a...
Does it really?
That's
is that
what they say.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it probably is. I have no...
I don't question it.
Yeah,
I don't know what's in these woods.
No, I've seen Deliverance. There's no telling what's in these woods.
Yeah, so that part's interesting. And then I've had people from different offices around Cumberland County say people have registered to vote or get their taxes and stuff because they came for the festival, loved it here, and moved here.
Wow.
So that's interesting. And I had one couple who met at the festival a couple of years ago. They're planning to get married. And then they met at our festival.
No, that's sweet.
Isn't that interesting?
Is Bigfoot going to officiate?
I think he should.
He should.
I think they should get married at our festival.
They should.
And then there's another lady who honors the memory of her son by going to Bigfoot festivals. He was really big into Bigfoot. He was killed in an accident, and so this is how they remember him. So it's therapeutic for her.
Well, those are great stories. I thought you were going to give me some crazy stories. Those are sweet, actually.
This festival's gone in a direction I never saw coming.
Yeah, I didn't see this conversation coming to that.
I never saw this stuff coming. So who knows what the future holds with this thing.
Wow. So what can we look for this year? What anything special or new?
Yeah, so last year the helicopter rides were very, very popular. That dude was landing and taking off, I swear, every 10 seconds. People were lined up. They couldn't wait to get on that helicopter. So that was we're definitely bringing that back.
Okay.
We had military vehicles for people to go through. I'm being told that some of those are on a little short supply right now because they're sending so much overseas. And
that makes sense.
But we should still have some things. Hopefully, a Black Hawk helicopter for people to look at.
Okay.
And that tank, and they'll probably have a Humvee. They'll have some other stuff there. We go back and forth each year on music, like whether to have it, whether or not. It sometimes can be a little embarrassing because the stadium will fill up for things like the Bigfoot calling contest.
Yes.
But then when the band starts to play or whatever, it kind of empties out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, because So this year we had an idea. I like having music. I really do. And so I thought maybe we should get one of the high school bands.
Yes.
So CCHS high school band reached out to me, and I was like, sure. I was like, we can help you guys out. I didn't realize their budget was so slim. They don't get much help.
No, they don't.
So we're going to be able to help them out.
That's great.
A little bit and have music.
Well, the thing is with music, and like I said, I coordinate a lot of festivals, and my specialty and division almost every time it's music. I do a Upper Cumberland Music Festival. It's called the Firefly Festival, and that's specific to local musicians. And so if you're there, you're going to hear music. That's nothing but, it's original music. We don't want like a lot of covers. We want original musicians. So people come out there and they're there to see the music. And it's also for original artists, like, that want to do like pottery, or they have some sort of art outlet that they sell their art. And then with the Apple Festival, we had music, of course, but I understand that with the Apple Festival, the music is secondary. It is not the focus. And so, our goal is just to kind of keep some sort of entertainment while people are eating. Mm-hmm. But what I learned the most in this last year, so I work with Hip Cookville, and we have done the Hispanic Heritage Festival. This was our third year, and I've done it for 2 years now. Last year I did it, and it was like band after band after band after band. And you're right, some people just don't want to stick around and listen to it. And something I realized was that I think some Americans are good with that when they go to concerts. Mm-hmm. But what I found was like the Hispanic community they are a little bit more energized.
Oh.
And so I was like, maybe when we say we're doing entertainment, it doesn't have to be a band concert. It doesn't have to be another band. And so I hired dancers that did very, Latin flavored dances, the bachata, salsa. And then at one point they even gave like a demo and then a lesson.
Oh,
and then we
cool.
had everyone like kind of doing their little dances.
Very cool.
So it's stuff like that. I mean, I guess it just varies on the market that you're trying to bring in.
Yeah, I think it depends on what they come expecting. And I don't think you go to a Bigfoot festival expecting music.
But you do for a Bigfoot call.
You do. You expect Bigfoot calling. That is the most popular thing
It would be.
have.
I would assume it would be.
Especially when the kids do it. Those kids will get up there and we'll say, okay, do your Bigfoot call. And someone will go, Bigfoot!
Do any of them sound like a sad elephant? Really? Not really.
Someone's a happy elephant.
A happy elephant.
Or a constipated elephant. But for the most part, though, they do a really good job and people love it. The adults are hilarious, too. I don't want to underscore them. But we also do the tree knocking contest. If you want to call a Bigfoot, you don't know how to make the noise, the noise, then you can take two sticks and you start hitting them together and you may hear something come back.
I'm so out of the loop on this.
Knocking. Yeah.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Like you didn't just make that up out of thin air. It's like this is what we're doing.
There's a certain way you hit those sticks together and you call the Bigfoot. No. And then this weird idea came up from Upper Cumberland window cleaning. Okay. James Riley reached out to me the second year and he said, I think you guys need to add a mullet contest.
Oh my
gosh.
Said,
what? He said, yes. I said, look, you spearhead this and we'll give you a section to do this. I didn't think anybody would go to it.
Oh no.
And then at the festival, I see this crowd gathered. I'm like, what are they doing over there? And it was James's mullet contest. It was so popular. So we put it on the main stage the next year, and we're doing it again this year.
Awesome.
I've already got the reigning champion messaging me saying, I'm ready to defend my title for the third year.
Oh, my gosh.
So I said, we're ready to have you defend it. So do
they wear a crown after they win? Or, is there anything like
they get a shirt and they get a cash prize.
Oh.
Yeah.
So everybody really does benefit.
Yes.
Got to have the right mullet, though.
Yes, and you're not allowed to wear wigs.
Oh, well, that's cheating.
I'm mullet challenged.
Oh, yeah. You're clearly not going to win that.
They're like, no wigs.
No wigs.
So, but those are very popular. This year, we're adding a silent auction.
Okay.
So vendors are donating items, and I'm going to go around and get some different stores and whatnot around town to donate some things. So we thought that this might be an extra avenue of revenue.
Yes.
To add to the overall festival's benefit. So.
That sounds great.
In the world of small business, every day feels like a whirlwind. Owners are constantly balancing tasks, struggling to find time for what matters most. But in this busy season, relief arrives. Introducing the Autumn Agency's Small Business Division. Imagine a team that not only designs websites and masters SEO, but also provides essential business tools and strategies. With the Autumn Agency, owners gain access to expert business consultants who offer personalized strategies and tools to optimize operations. From marketing plans to financial insights, our consultants empower you to make informed decisions that drive growth. Digital marketing, social media, branding, e-commerce, every aspect of your business is perfected. Visit us today at theautumnagency.co and let us be your autumn.
Of course, we have our merchandise.
Of course.
I've got some of that laying here on the table now, but we've got crew necks, t-shirts, we've got keychains, got bags that you can go around shopping with and put your stuff in, all kinds of stuff. And our little squatches, the little baby squatches.
Oh, now he's cute.
Yeah, the babies are cute. It's when they get grown that they're not so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones that people...
Daddy Bigfoot, not so cute. Baby Bigfoot, very cute.
Yeah, so, baby Bigfoot.
Yeah, and we have at the festival, you get the ones with our little sweater on that have our logo.
That's cute.
And I'm doing I'm doing gift giveaways like crazy on Facebook to advertise the festival. Our sponsors, if you're a certain sponsorship level, you get prize giveaways. And so we'll give those little squatches away. And I'm giving a charcuterie board that's shaped like a Bigfoot. It's throws, all kinds of blankets and throws.
That's
like a
cute,
Bigfoot
though.
theme. So
I like that.
We give all that stuff away.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So what kind of vendors or exhibits do you think the vendors can... Oh, you're like, oh, gosh, you're excited.
The vendors are unique.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to be.
Certain festivals, if you go to a lot of festivals around here, sometimes you'll see some of the same vendors, which is fine. But at this festival, you'll see unique vendors that you don't see at any other festival. And they're selling Bigfoot stuff. And,
really?
and it's things you might not even think about. That's actually very cool. There's wind chimes. There's oh my gosh, I can't even think of all this stuff. The bird houses, anything and everything that you can think of, they can turn into a Bigfoot theme, and there you have got a very unique item to take home. And you're supporting the vendors, and unique food trucks. I don't ever reach out to vendors. They just come to us. I've got the website, and they go in there and they fill out the vendor form. But if I hear someone say, "Man, have you tried that new food truck? They had the best this, that, or the other," I will reach out to them and I'll say, "Just so you know, we have a Bigfoot festival," and sometimes they fill out an application and they end up at our festival.
So how many food trucks do you guys normally have?
Oh gosh, we usually have at least a dozen. Okay. Sometimes we'll have closer to 20. It just depends. This year I'm looking at probably 15 or so, 15 to 20 food and drink trucks, and they come from all over. One comes in from North Carolina.
I was like, California?
No,
whoa!
North Carolina.
That's still kind of far.
Speaking of California, we get vendors from all over the country. We've got some from Seattle. We've got one that comes in from Phoenix. We've got one that prides themselves on the southernmost vendor. They're coming in from the Florida Keys.
Oh,
they do
that's a
swamp ape.
Really?
Yeah, they do swamp because Florida has the swamp ape. Oh. That's the Bigfoot that's in the swamp and he's real angry because he's got all that hair.
I can't believe they just didn't do Swamp Thing. Does anybody remember that movie with Adrian Barbeau?
Swamp Ape's always in a bad mood because he's got all that hair and he's in hot and humid swamp.
See, I like weird festivals like Swamp Ape. That's such a different thing. Bigfoot, Swamp Ape, and then Mothman.
Then you got Yeti.
Yeah, I didn't even think about Yeti.
In the Arctic.
Holy moly.
He's white, so to blend in with the snow.
Yeah, so we can't find him.
Can't put a Yeti in the swamp. Just wouldn't work. So, yeah, there's all kinds of things. So if you come to the festival, you're going to see, you can chat up with people who are true believers. You can chat up with people who are just there to people watch and to be entertained. And you can be there to be with fellow patriots who just want to support veterans and first responders.
Back to the believers of Bigfoot. How do they impact the festival? How do they impact the atmosphere of the festival? I'm going to tell you, I don't believe in monsters. I don't believe in ghosts. But if you take me to a haunted house, I'm going to make you a believer. And it's because I let that adrenaline rush. I'm like, oh, giggly, and I know we're all going to die and we're never going to make it out. So I can imagine what that's like.
It adds something special because there's just another layer of excitement. Yeah. This is their jam.
I bet. Oh, man.
And there's not all that many Bigfoot festivals around the country. No. So they specifically seek out the Bigfoot festivals, and because this is their people, and so it adds a new element of intrigue and wonder, and I think a lot of people want to believe that there's something like this out there because it makes for incredible campfire stories.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So someday I want to add storytelling to the festival.
Oh, that would be good.
It is.
Now that would be a good entertainment option.
But it's hard to organize. It's hard to find folks that will share their story. Melissa, you wouldn't believe how many people message me, and they think I'm one of the true believers, and so they say, I've never told anyone this before. But
so they feel comfortable. You're safe.
And so they share their story with me, and I'm like, that is fascinating. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know how anybody explains what's happened to some of these people. Like getting big boulders thrown at them in the woods, things that a person
See, I've never heard that. Oh,
having a log thrown through the air because they were encroaching upon the Bigfoot's territory. So, and they left.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I've never really heard any Bigfoot stories. I'm serious. When I said Harry and the Hendersons, that's about the extent of my Bigfoot experience. And I don't even think, was Harry a Bigfoot?
Yes.
I think he was, wasn't he?
He was.
Okay. So, I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Now
Probably since the 80s when it came out.
We do movie night at the Palace.
And do you watch
That's coming
Harry
up
and the
the
Hendersons?
15th, I think, of October.
Or the Boggy Creek.
We have done the Harry and the Hendersons, and we're doing, but Legend of Boggy Creek we did last year, and it's back by popular demand.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And it's free.
And I'm a horror movie fanatic, and I've heard that it's really actually kind of scary.
It's creepy.
And so I will. When is that playing?
I think it's It's Tuesday, October 15th.
I might be free. I think that's fall break, so I can get the kids out. We may have
and
to.
it's free.
It's free.
It's free. Upper Cumberland Federal Credit Union is our main sponsor for the festival, and this is just another way of us thanking them and the community. And so you get to watch the movie for free.
Yeah.
And Melina will have a snack and drink special where you get popcorn, a drink, and candy for $5.
Okay, so now she has a regular special that's going on right now with the Halloween movies, and we've actually, and I mean, it's an incredible deal. I mean, anybody who goes to the theater anymore, I mean, clearly Crossville's not having a theater anymore, and I'm not going to rag on it because my church is the one that bought it. So it benefited me, but my kids were also working at it when we lost the theater. So, I mean, it was a double-edged sword. But she has like these Halloween movie schedules, and like if you pay $20, you get popcorn, drink, and a candy, and you get in. And even $20, no, it's not $20. It's $5 a person because I pay $20 for my 4, and that's a great deal. It's such a great deal.
You can't do that at any other theater.
No, and they're movies we've already seen, so I feel relatively safe bringing my children, even though I just brought my kids to see Children of the Corn. I know what I was doing. But yeah, that kind of thing. And I think she's doing such a great job at the theater, so I like seeing that. But you guys,
she's on my committee. That's what I'm talking about.
She's a crackerjack.
I've got rock stars on my committee.
She's amazing. I've only gotten to know her since she's taken over the Palace, and she has become one of my all-time favorite people in this community. Yeah, she really has.
Melina's been on the committee from day one. Donnie at the fairgrounds, Donnie Moody, he's been on there from day one. We brought on Savannah Donathan this year for merchandise.
Yeah.
Beth Davis was doing that, and she stepped away from it for this year, and Savannah took over for the merch, and so she's doing an outstanding job. And
you guys do all this for like not a dime in your pocket. You do it because you want to do it. And I think people need to know that.
Ethan Hadley with the Chamber is also on my committee.
So. Oh, fantastic!
But no, we don't make any money.
You guys got a tight community.
If anything, we're out.
We're usually out of pocket.
But anyways, it's all to raise money for the nonprofits.
What do you find personally most fascinating about Bigfoot lore?
Oh gosh, I think just the mystery. I think that, because like I said, most people know me as Meteorologist Mark. There's weird weather things that happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been storm chasing where we had weird things happen to us that we can't explain.
Right.
When the atmosphere gets all energized and weird things start happening, and it's like, there's so much power at stake. And I think about these people that's got these Bigfoot stories, so I wouldn't dare, challenge their story because I've got crazy stories too. We've all got
I've got crazy
stories that we think, oh, nuts, I'm not going to tell anybody that story.
Right.
And that's the way a lot of these Bigfoot folks feel. They're like, I'm not telling anyone that happened, that I saw that or heard that or felt that. Some people just feel it.
Yeah.
And they say their hair on the back of their neck stood up, and they're just like, I'm like, I wasn't there.
I know, like I'm in like certain groups where they're like, there's usually someone that's like, well, I'm very sensitive, so I feel this. I'm like, I must not be sensitive at all. Like I can't even read the room half the time, let alone.
A lot of times their Bigfoot stories remind me of other people's spiritual experiences.
Yes.
Something happened
or alien
to me.
Stories that
something
I've heard.
happened to me that I can't explain, and this is what I think it was.
But it happened.
And there's nothing you can do to take that away from
Right.
me.
It's an experience.
And I wouldn't dare try to.
No, absolutely not. And I do take it back laughing at my aunt about the sad elephant. It was just the sad elephant thing. It sounded like a sad elephant. What? And that just caught me off guard. But no, I really think I'm sure, and I can't think right off the top of my head any kind of specific stories that have no explanation to it. But I do have them. And unless we get into that conversation, I'm like, oh yes, now I know what I'm. But yeah, you don't want to take that away from somebody because it would offend me if someone took away my stories, downplayed that.
Yeah, it's all been very interesting. I mean, there are things that you don't think of that, just like the simple things like insurance. It's like, I thought you could just have a festival at the fairgrounds and that you were covered by the county or whatever.
No.
And Belly's like, no, you're not.
Nope.
I'm like, oh, I guess we need insurance.
No,
so just stuff like that, and it's like, and just a million other things.
We used to do weather insurance, so if it did have to cancel due to the weather, our musicians would get paid.
I've got whole spreadsheets.
It's exhausting.
That's just for this festival. That checklist, make sure you do this, and I got the timelines. I mean, because we've all got, this isn't our sole job.
No, y'all
everybody
work
on
real
the committee,
jobs.
we have other jobs, if not multiple other jobs and responsibilities. And so you have to keep it organized. And before this, I was decently an organized person, but this has really honed my skills, because when you've got let's say 8,000 to 12,000 people coming, we never know from year to year.
Yes.
That's a lot of people. And you want them to have a good time.
Yes.
And I think one thing that makes us a little different from some other festivals too is that we're just obsessed with everyone having a good time and staying safe. We don't want to just throw a festival together and what happens.
Right.
There's a lot of putting out fires on festival day, just little things that come up. It's like, what?
Yes.
Where did that come from? And then we make notes and fix it the next year.
Yep, that's how it happens.
And you think, well, by year 4, you've got all the kinks worked out.
No, because you never know what's going to come out of left
human
field.
Equation. You've got these 8,000 to 12,000 humans who are coming, who have a whole new series of issues than the people before did. And it's like, oh, we got new problems this year.
Oh, wow, didn't see that coming. That wasn't on my bingo card.
Shaking it up, like adding the silent auction. So that'll add some things that we don't foresee until we do it. And so every year we always add something, and so just by that nature, there's always going to be something new. It's challenging, but everybody on my committee loves a good challenge. So
that's how the world turns in my mind. Yes.
It's either rise to the occasion or run for the hills.
Yeah.
So
what are your goals for the future of the festival?
For the future of the festival, I want to see it continue to grow. Yeah. I really do. And I want to see it, we've raised to date almost $40,000 for nonprofits.
Wow.
So, and this is just our 4th year.
Yeah.
And because of, we had the logistics down pat the first year, we didn't have the finances down pat.
Right.
And that's a common festival problem. Yeah. A lot of festivals go in the hole.
They bleed out.
And then they just don't even have it the second year. We were lucky. We did make money the first year. Didn't make much, but we did make some. But then the second year, we made several thousand, and then last year we made over 20,000.
That's great.
So it just, I'm anxious to see on this 4th year how much more money we make.
Right.
We got the logistics down pat. Now, how much can we keep bumping this total of money up? So,
we'll see. I know the few festivals that I've worked with, we're like, hey man, it was a win because we broke even. It's like we broke even, guys.
Yeah. The first year we had it, we had Mike Snyder come and play. And for those of you not familiar, that's from the Hee Haw days.
Yep.
Playing the banjo, telling jokes. And I went to pay him after the festival, and he said, "Oh, good." And I said, "What?" He said, "This is usually a very awkward moment where the festival organizer tells me, we'll pay you if and when we can pay you." And I was like, "Mike, we would never." I said, "I would literally borrow money from the bank to pay you."
I had no idea that was a thing because I don't work with groups that do that.
He was acting kind of, like he was expecting bad news when I approached him. He goes, "Oh, good, a check." Because then he told me that. He's like, usually this is a very awkward moment. And I was like, I would die first.
Well, I've had a few musicians say, hey, we need a down payment. We need a deposit before we come out there. And I'm like, really?
That's why.
But things have gotten to that point where I'm sure some of it stems from a broken economy.
Yeah.
We try to make things fun. We try to make things happen. And then they kind of fall through.
Yeah.
And then it falls. It's just a... snowball effect.
Yeah, the worst thing that happened to us the first year, and I won't say who it was, but we did try to get a certain artist.
It wasn't me, right?
It was not Melissa.
Okay, just be sure that we know it was not me.
And it was not anyone local. And the agent made that such a nightmare. And that wasted a month of festival planning time.
Yes.
And it was getting in the summer. And so we dropped that, got out of that. It was so bad the agent tried to fine us for his time. We hadn't signed it. It was just all around a terrible experience. Anyway, so we got out of that. And then I reached out to Mike Snyder. And because I thought that'll be popular. And I called what I thought was his agent. It was his personal cell phone.
No.
So
I like to go direct to the artist.
I didn't know it was his personal cell phone. So he answers the phone. I'm like, is this the agent for Mike Snyder? He said, this is Mike Snyder.
Yep.
I was like, oh. I said, I'm sorry. I thought I was calling your agent. He goes, no, what do you need? And so I told him. He was like, we'd be glad to. And that, to me, was super special because I remember growing up watching He-Man with my grandparents.
Yes.
And they had both passed away. And I got to carry his banjo to the stage for him. He asked me to carry it.
Grandparents could see me now.
So it's things like that you don't see coming. That's like, okay, because that was a very stressful day.
I bet it
was the first festival. And I thought, this is cool. No one got a picture of it or anything first.
So I think you're lying.
Yeah.
Picture it didn't happen, Mark.
So just things like that. And, like last year we surprised the young Marines with a check, and they were so excited to get that check. And it's like, just things like that make you realize it's worth it.
Yes.
It's worth it.
Do you have anything that you'd like to say to listeners who may be on the fence about attending?
So I get this.
That would be me because I've never gone.
I even encountered this week at a meeting I was at. And I was just going on and on about how wonderful the festival was. And the guy leading the meeting was like, man, I'm going to have to go to this festival. How many of you all been to the festival? There's 2 people in the whole room had been to the festival.
Well, in my defense, I always take my fall vacation because, I play music and summer's really busy and usually fall's really busy. And then I pick up the fall, the holiday season. So I take that last third weekend of October to go and just unplug. But we're not doing that this year because of the hurricanes. So you may have us visiting.
We would love to have you on this. People are busy, and I get that, but seriously, I think, you talk to the people who have come to it, and they had a great time. And they really brag about it, and you get to see Bigfoot, and he's going around getting his picture made with everybody. This is the one day he's not photo shy. And then there's all kinds of good food vendors. And I will say this, Melissa, the one thing I noticed about this festival is the friendliness of it. Everybody is so friendly. They're in a good mood. Everybody just comes to chill.
When you have a happy festival, you're not going to go in there as a grumpy butt, right?
No, it's a happy festival. It only costs $5 to get in.
Okay, so there is an admission. Okay,
so $5. It's only $5 to get in. And then you get in there and you can do whatever. You get to meet Ronnie LeBlanc this year. He's from Expedition Bigfoot.
Okay.
And like I said, you can go to the BIP event. It's only $30, and kids are 15. And again, that money goes to the Young Marines of Cumberland County.
Yeah.
And so, you can do that, but everything else, you go through the silent auction for free unless you buy something. If you win, get the auction. But everything else, you just, the helicopter rides, I forget what he charges for those. It's reasonable. It's like around $20, somewhere around in there. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to.
It's got to be just as cheap, if not cheaper, than the ones that you get in Pigeon Forge.
Right,
and you don't have to spend the gas to get there.
This is true. And parking is free.
Ooh.
So
is the rescue squad doing that again this year? Okay.
Yes. A lot of festivals you go to, the parking is not free.
No, it's not free.
And sometimes it's an unpleasant surprise. Mm-hmm. But that is not the case of ours. And plenty of parking, $5 admission. It all goes to a wonderful cause. We always just wanted this to be a local, family-friendly festival that raises money for local groups.
Very giving. I like that.
Yeah.
So where can people find more information about the festival, and how can they get involved?
So our website, ucbigfoot.com, the letter U, the letter C, Bigfoot.com. That has everything and anything you need to know. I keep that website updated all the time.
Good for you, because I can't tell you how many times I get to a website, I'm like, I'm going to have to like sweep up the cobwebs and everything.
A broken link is the worst thing that can happen to anybody.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, there's, if you want to volunteer, we're always looking for volunteers. If you just want information about the festival, the mullet contest, Bigfoot Con contest, the helicopter rides, we got Toys for Tots that's going to be collecting toys there for anyone who wants to bring a toy and drop in there. We've got different military groups that are going to be set up that you can go talk to. If nothing else, thank them for their service.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wonderful opportunity for that. We have a lot of veterans who come to this festival, and this is a very veteran-friendly community.
Yes, it is.
So it's a good opportunity for you to go thank people for their service, too.
Yes, it is.
So,
in just a few words, what does the Bigfoot Festival mean to you personally?
What does it mean to me? What it means to me personally is an awesome way to give back. Yeah. And I think that's how me and the community feel. We love this community. We want to, help those who need help. And this festival just hits it right on the mark.
Awesome. Deep thoughts.
Meteorologist Mark.
Meteorologist Mark. Bigfoot Mark.
It's not even dark. Yeah.
It's not. Mark, thank you so much for talking about the Bigfoot Festival. I've never been, so I really was like kind of getting answers that I'm not even leading you to the right answers. I'm like, I really don't know. What are we doing? Do people believe? They do believe.
It's a good festival.
So it sounds like fun, but I encourage everyone to come out. And when is this again? It's the third week of October.
The third Saturday in October, Saturday, October 19th. Gates open at 9 o'clock, and you leave at 5.
You leave at 5. That means that you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That's what it sounds like.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
We're usually ready for 5 o'clock.
I think a lot of people usually are. That's a long day.
Yes,
that is a long day. Festivals are exhausting.
Yes.
But thank you so much for telling me and everybody else that's listening so much about the Bigfoot Festival, what you guys give to the community. And on behalf of the community, thank you guys for giving.
You're very welcome. Appreciate you.
When you're coming down, it's right off Interstate 40. It's my beloved hometown, Crossville, Tennessee. And when I leave, I feel so sad, not just because of mom and dad. It's for my love of hometown, Crossville, Tennessee.
Looking for the perfect gift for someone you love? Perhaps you're in search of something unique to treat yourself. Discover the beauty of uniquely created hand-stamped jewelry. Locally owned and crafted with love, our collection features rings, bracelets, keychains, and pendants made from durable aluminum and paired with natural beads. Enjoy necklaces on sterling silver-plated chains and earrings with sterling silver hooks for a touch of elegance. Each piece is hand-stamped and one of a kind, making it uniquely yours. Plus, we offer custom orders, and we ship nationwide. Find us on Facebook and Instagram today and fall in love with your perfect piece, uniquely created just for you. Uniquely created hand-stamped jewelry in Crossville. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of What's Up Crossville. We want to give a shout out to the amazing sponsors for their support. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Leave us a review, and don't forget to share this episode with a friend. For more information about What's Up Crossville, visit us at whatsupcrossville.com. There, you can find upcoming episodes, resources mentioned in the episode, and even recommend future guests. Please note that the views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of the individual speakers and do not represent the policy or positions of this show, its related entities, advertisers, or the Southern Spitfire brand. While our discussions may cover a variety of topics, the content of What's Up Crossville is intended to inform, inspire, and entertain. It should not be used as a substitute for professional advice. For medical, financial, legal, or other professional advice, we encourage our listeners to seek the expertise of a licensed professional who can provide personalized guidance. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode of What's Up Crossville.